Hello, welcome to the AHFV Film Viewer tutorial. Start at the beginning here. You have your basic controls here, open file. These are your basic playback controls, your timeline, your film playback speed, your different views here. These are also controllable with the function keys, the F keys on your keyboard. Moving over to the other side, we have our cropping tools here for selecting parts of larger films to make into smaller films. These are our zoom functions, joining films together. Ignore this button. Full screen mode for capturing. Use recorded views. We'll play the film back using the views recorded from in-game, which is very useful if you're trying to figure out what you did wrong. Trail. It's a good tool for filmmakers. Shows you where the plane has come from. It's good for setting up shots. Gun cam will take your plane out of the shot. It'll just remove it. Let's see if I can do that. Apparently not. And icons turns off and on icons. And this is your setup camera shots button, and we'll talk about that in a bit. This is the player information panel. This tells you who is in the area in the film. As you can see, you've got me here and a few knights who don't like me. So back to the film here. You can adjust your views in the cockpit. You can use your numerical keypad to adjust your views as they would be looking at the plane. As you can see, my rear quarter views here are outside of the plane. Now, what some people don't know is that if you change your in-game save head position button to something else, you can then use that button in the film viewer to save your head position. Now, the reason you can't do it if you leave it where it is because that button in Windows will open a help file for application. But if you remap that button, you can save your head positions in different places in the film viewer. And it's a very useful trick. Right then, let's get on to the camera shots button. That is why we're here, I'm sure. Okay, so we have a film here of me. I get a kill and then I die. But just a quick demonstration, here we go. Turn on trails. This is the second tip of the day. So you can see where the planes come from. Okay, now here's our kill. And I'm going to pause it there and we'll talk about the different camera shots you can set up. Okay, moving over here to the shot application, I guess. 4 different shots. World relative, which moves the camera relative to the world. Plane relative moves the camera relative to the plane. Chase plane chases the plane, and world pointing moves the camera relative to the world, but while pointing at a target. And your target is selected by selecting a plane on here and then grabbing target. It chose the wrong guy, but that's okay. I'm sure if I did this properly, it would choose the right guy. Okay. We'll start at the top, world relative, moving the camera relative to the world with no specific target. Okay, and we're at the end of our shot here, and I do like to capture my shots starting at the end and then working my way back to the beginning. I find this easier, but then you'll find your own way, and that'll be good too. Okay, so what I did there, I went to external mode and pan using my F3 and F8 keys, and now I'm able to use again my numerical keypad to move around, but also my cursor keys will move me in and out and up and down, and my page up keys as well. Page up and page down keys work as well. So we're going to capture the end world pointing final, the ending of the world pointing shot. Let's just playing with our angles here. Now what I'm doing, I'm not just spinning around, I'm trying to, and failing to, get as much of the trail of the two aircraft involved, as much of the trail as I can. This is tip number 3. Trails, get them in your shot. Okay, that'll do for an ending. In fact, I want to come above it more. So, alright, that's the ending shot. Now we're going to go and look for our beginning shot, our opening camera position. Again, you do want to put as much of the two trails of the two planes in as you can, because the camera won't fix to a target, and it's going to look pretty silly if you're making a movie about airplanes shooting downers and there's no airplanes in it. So we'll grab that as our start time, our starting position. Now when it grabs the time, when we grabbed all, it grabbed the time, 26 seconds is the start time. Well, that's where the ending time is. So what we want to do is we want to go back probably 10 seconds to 16 seconds, and then we'll keep our duration at 11 seconds. It seems to be about right, and we'll take a look, and if it looks no good, we'll try again. So just playing the shot now. Right, here comes the Zeke, here comes the Corsair. That's pretty cool. Couple of things I didn't like. We didn't get the blowy uppiness at the end. Okay, so what I'm probably going to do is make it a little bit shorter, no longer. Okay, not quite happy as I could be with that ending. Let's go crazy and put it there. Here comes the Zeke again. We're not going to get much Corsair in this one, we need to come back. Yeah. Grapple, I'll try it again. Okay, that's your basic world relative shot. Okay, so let's refresh the film viewer here and move on to the next type of shot, which is plane relative. Okay, plane relative moves the camera relative to your plane, so you're going to want to get some part of your plane in the shot if you can. Some of the shots people like to use are, the sweeping wing shot, which is, I'll demonstrate that one here. I've used this in a couple of films, I think, at least one. So you're going to grab your start time here, plane relative, grab all. Now, the reason I like this shot, this particular shot, is if you time it right, you can pass underneath the airplane as the shells are the casings are being ejected from these little holes here. So that'll be our ending spot. I'll grab that and play it through. fast. There we go. That's your basic plane relative shot. Okay, let's just refresh this again. Next type of shot on the list is the chase plane shot. It's pretty self-explanatory. Go into chase plane, and then you want to grab your position at start. One of the types of shot you can do here is a sweep. Sweep across the airplane. So we're in chase plane. Oh, let me zoom out. Grab all. Okay, I'll just grab that ending spot. This is actually a little bit more dramatic if you zoom in. That's the chase plane shot. Not much more to it than that, I'm afraid. Okay, but here is world pointing, and world pointing is a very useful camera angle tool. Okay, we'll pick up the, we'll start at the end here. Okay, so the same premise, using your keyboard to maneuver yourself around here. Actually, I want to get a little bit off to the side. Grab that as our ending position, and then we'll move down the line here. Okay, again, we're looking at our trails. We want to keep this trail here coming down and around. That's the Zeke trail, me, and this trail in the foreground is the Corsair. So we do want to keep both those trails in view. As much as we can. We'll grab all there, and again we want to bring this back to around 14 seconds, and our play time is going to be about 12, and that's just guessing, to be honest. We'll adjust the times as we work through the shot. Okay, does need a little bit of work. Just want to make that start coming out a bit closer there. Right, I've missed the actual explosion at the end, but you get the basic idea. That's oil pointing.